In this clip, you'll see the most fashionable animal ever. You'll also see the moment an engineer realizes his mistake and complicates issues further. Lastly, you'll love to see this whale shark made from recycled plastic. You won't see this anywhere else, so be sure to like and subscribe. But first, let's begin with this serpent of the ocean. If no one explains this cliff, you'll just guess that the site is a museum beside a beach. Better still, you may think someone caught a giant sea creature and stripped it of its flesh to reveal its gigantic skeletons. All these explanations are wrong, because it's a sculpture nicknamed the Serpent of the Ocean. It was designed by a Chinese man named Yuan Yonghong. The structure measures about 130 meters, making it impossible to differentiate it from a real skeleton. The bones are located a few inches above the water, plus there's algae on the body, like a typical fossil. Therefore, it's hard to convince anyone that the structure is artificial. Duck wearing sandals. These days, it's common to find dogs wearing clothes, but ducks wearing shoes. It sounds impossible. First, you'll wonder how they'll walk in these things with their webbed feet. And then you'll ask how they got it. In this image, this animal is seen moving around in a sandal. Not only is this a calculated attempt to make the animal look good, but it's also wearing a matching stocking. Whether or not the animal is conscious about this top-notch treatment is given a debate, but not when we're ready to delve into iron curtains. I bet everyone watching this has a curtain at home. Think of the reason you purchased one and compare that thought. Oh, what you see in this clip, well, you may have bought it to beautify your home and share your room from the direct effects of the sun. Some other person has a strange reason. The curtains in this footage are made of iron and stylishly tilted to the left and right. To make matters worse, it's outside and not inside. Moreover, it doesn't shield anyone from the rays of the sun. However, we can argue that it beautifies the home and gets everyone talking like we're doing now. Military cat. We all know about our guard dogs and how they're trained to protect their owners in dire circumstances. While they have been around for as long as we can remember, we don't know about guard cats. Cats are often used as pets that are not trained to fight an aggressor or defend their owners fiercely. Iron. I call this picture proves everyone wrong. This feline creature is built for war. Sits carrying all the necessary equipment needed for the war front. It's unclear how they're even supposed to execute orders given by their owners, and who even trained him. Zebra tarantula. Everyone wants to come back home after a hectic day and find some food to eat. Even if there's no cooked meal, having something to snack on doesn't sound like a bad idea. What if you come home famished only to open the fridge and find something strange in there? Now, it is not the regular snack, but a zebra tarantula are one of the creepiest insects on the planet. Only a few people can tolerate having them around their environment, and how much more eat them. It's unclear why anyone would want to package them and sell them to people as snacks. I'm never going to eat them. How about you? Let us know in the comments below. The Tomorrow War. In a world of the Tomorrow War, the makers of the sci-fi movie titled The Tomorrow War decided to create publicity for the movie, but took it to a whole new level during the premiere. In the heart of the town, a truck drove around the city with a huge alien inside. It was believed that the creature was partially alive, as it could move its body parts. All of the drama was to capture attention and get people to see the movie. The film was about the monsters who attacked the Earth and all the damage that they cost the planet. Imagine how terrified that single animal in the truck was, but you wouldn't want them coming after you in real life. Bunker shower. Bunkers are not new to us. In fact, they're scattered all around the US. Some wealthy people build them to store their valuables and hide there during troubled times. There are countless reasons anyone who wants to own them. And there's a shower in this one. There's a towel besides the shower, indicating that it's used as a bathroom or something of that nature. The puzzle here is how someone manages to get into this tiny square hole to have their bath. It's so small that it may be impossible for one to scrub their own body while they're there. If you know how possible it is to have a clean bath there, please tell us in the comments below. Muddy dog. Dogs play a lot, and sometimes they don't bother about hygiene when they do. This clip shows the moment where a puppy partly dipped himself in mud and posed for a shot, it's not the fact that he played dirty that got everyone talking, but the way he went about it. From the top of its head all the way through to its back, it's intact and not stained with mud, while the other parts of the body are affected. I think it's safe to say this dog is a lover of art, because it chooses how best it wants to look. If you're wondering where to go for some art lessons, you know the right place. Wheelchair accessible stairs. I bet the engineer that supervised the construction of this house felt awful after he realized that he didn't build it with the physically challenged in mind. How on earth is someone in a wheelchair supposed to climb the stairs? When he saw that he had flopped, he tried to remedy the situation. Unfortunately, his remedy worsened the situation. There was no way two tires can ride on that steel freely. It was better that he left it that way. Maybe he had a better explanation of how this is going to work, but we may never understand. Toy truck. When we see a real car and a toy one behind it, we can't help but agree that a child was around the corner who would have owned a toy truck. If not for a child who was desperate to own a real car in the near future, we don't know why the toy truck is directly behind the car. But skeptics say that a child may have demanded a bigger car after he saw the white one. Since his parents weren't ready for a long and endless argument, they decided it was best if they had a replica of the car. Yes, they succeeded. Even though the car looks like a truck, I don't think it mattered to the kid how awful the car looked as long as he had something to ride. Buried in the Alps. Imagine hiking in the snow and discovering something that attracts the attention of the world. To you, a group of hikers in Switzerland were on a routine hiking trip. When they found something buried in the snow, they were curious to know what it was, and they began digging. After unearthing the fossil, they realized it was two humans. A couple. Precisely, further research showed that the couple had gone missing for over 75 years after they left home to go hiking. Their daughter, who was still alive at the time of the discovery, told how their parents left the house one morning and never returned. It was a relief to her that she could bury her parents. Crinoid. The chances are that only about 1% of the people watching this video have seen a crinoid. The creature has many legs that move in different directions. While some choose to call it plants, others believe they're plants. Even if you choose to call it a species of a spider, where's the head? Do we now have headless spiders? What are their benefits to our ecosystem? This creature can dodge enemies with ease, explaining why they have so many legs. They're so creepy that maybe you don't want to see them. Burning tree. If you see smoke emanating from the top of a tree, you'll only assume that it would burn to ashes. Well, this is not the case here. This one resembles a chimney as it burns from the inside. This phenomenon is strange and elicits a lot of questions. The most important of them is, why is it burning inside? The explanation is that lightning struck the tree trunk. The wind then blows fire inside the tree, and it starts to burn in the middle. Regardless of how it burns on the outside, the bark is intact as though nothing is happening. Tortoise. While it's normal to own pets like dogs and cats, it remains a bit awkward to own a tortoise. People who do love it because they love what the animal represents, not because they can even do much. This man takes his favorite pet on a walk down the street. The only problem with this is that the animal isn't as agile as you may expect. It's the kind that makes you lose a crucial appointment when you'll show up at the location late. But who cares about the repercussions of being late when this pet can always keep him company? It doesn't seem to me that this man eventually got to his location on foot. He probably had to hire a car to get him to his location after several hours of being on a spot. Viareggio Carnival. One of the most anticipated carnivals in Italy is the Viareggio Carnival. It gathers people from across the world and the country to have all the fun they want. When tourists gathered at the venue some years ago, they didn't expect the shock they got. The organizers constructed and animated a well. It's not the fact that the animal was moving that made the day. It was made of recycled plastic and waste materials. The artists that constructed the giant piece wanted to educate everyone on the dangers of polluting the ocean. Whales are worst hit by the effects of discriminate dumping of refuse in the water. Here's another instance of an inanimate object calling our attention to things we ought to be doing. Until next time.